Although this isn't really a hack of Fluency Tutor, it's still a different use than we normally think of when we think of reading fluency. And in this case, I'm talking about world language teachers wanting to assess the fluency of their students in a second language. For instance, I can go to Share Passage, create content, and then I went out on the internet and I found a short story, and then I translated it using Google's Translate tool right here into French. And now I can copy that and come here and give it a title. And then change this to French. Sure. We'll have French Audrey do the reading if the student wants to hear it. And then paste. And then let's preview it. Right, so looks pretty good. And then let's look at the settings. So in this case, French Audrey will be the vocalized voice. If you want to use an English dictionary as a support tool for your English-speaking students learning French, then you could leave this in English, or you could switch it to French, right? And if you want the translation to be in English, so when they double-click on a word for translate and you want that translation to be in French or in English, you could choose that here. And then if this was an assessment, not a formative assessment, but a summative assessment, you probably would want to disable all of these support tools we just set up so that the student just could open it up and read it in French as best they could. And then we'll save that. And then let's assign it to Google Classroom. And I'll select the classroom that I'm going to put this in. And then again, if you want to select certain students for this, you could click here and select certain students, but if you want to send it to all students, you just leave this as is and then click Create Assignment. So the share has been successful. So what does it look like from the student side? Come here, I'm going to hit refresh, make the assignment show up. We can close these. And there's the short story in French, so I'm going to open that up. And here it is in French. The voice is in French, so if I want to listen to it, remember I didn't turn off the assistive tools.
Sachant que Mme Mallard souffrait de troubles cardiaques, on a pris grand soin de lui annoncer aussi doucement que possible.
So I can click stop again, or I can click pause. Now, one thing to know about the pause button, when you click stop, it takes it back to the
Sachant que
beginning.
Mme Mallard souffrait.
When you hit pause, it doesn't take it back to the beginning. It pauses it there, and then when you hit play, it picks up from there.
De troubles cardiaques.
Student could switch the voice if they wanted to.
Sachant que Mme Mallard souffrait.
The student could switch the voice if they wanted to. So then, with the assistive tools, for instance, if the student didn't know what this word was, they could highlight it and click dictionary. And if you'll remember, we left the dictionary and the picture dictionary in English. So then it gives them the definition in English. If they need a picture dictionary, there's no picture for that one. But maybe there would be, there's a word that I sort of recognize. And there it is in English. So we left the assistance in the language, the native language of the student. And then translate. Go back to here and we go to translate. It translates it to English for the student. So basically you're just sort of reversing the way that we think about Fluency Tutor as a tool for elementary school students who are just learning to read, or for ELL students who are just learning to speak English. We're just flipping the script on that and using it for English-speaking students that are learning to speak a second language.